lashed him down real good and tight, and put ropes up to a hook. We hooked him over on the boom of the ship. We were in about 10-foot waves, I suppose, and brought him out over the ocean, lowered him down till he skipped on top of the wave. He made more promises to us that he'd never do it again, you know. He did, of course he tried, but he was a good one to have. There were other guys like that they treated the same way. They, meaning the other crafts. I can't really say that mine was a hazardous job, you know. First of all, my age, I thought all the officers knew what they were talking about, and I took orders well. And chances are some of them didn't, but I didn't know that. I didn't question it. We had a lot of good friends were made there, and people that I would trust to do anything for me. What did I miss?
I was wondering, when you were out on ship for months at a time, how often did you get updates as far as what was happening up inland on the war effort? And like, how current was your news?
Yeah, well, they were up front, but we didn't get that much. You know, they told us, but maybe because we were so isolated out there by ourselves, it didn't dawn on us really until we got back to the beach and land somewhere to really understand what was taking place. I didn't anyway. Some of the older guys, I told Mary this, I didn't tell the other class, they were real disappointed when we left the war and as it did. The older people that studied it a little bit probably, they said, oh, we shouldn't have done this, we should have taken the Russians on. And it's proved that maybe we should have, but I don't know whether that would have helped the whole situation. I started to tell you about those mines. We drew cables for the magnetic mine. We put power cables out on these parabeams that we drew by, and they'd be out there 150, 200 feet, and spread like this. We would make it. We would turn power on from generators, and that would cause a magnetic field. When you pass a magnetic field over a magnetic mine, it would explode. So that's the way we got rid of those. The acoustic mine, we drew a paravane, we called them pigs. There's nothing but a torpedo-shaped thing that had a drum on it and an air compressor inside. Electric cable went down the cable to that, and this air compressor would pound a hammer on this, like the pulse of an engine, and that would explain the exploded mine. Then the contact mine, of course, you didn't want to ever know. That would break a glass tip with a ship by. But never had any problem like that. I came through it smelling like a rose. I didn't have any problem as far as I know. And if it did, it passed by and I never knew about it. So it wasn't a bad time in my life. It was a learning experience. I used a lot of that time studying, of course, for my next rank. And I went from seaman third class to fireman to seaman first class, fireman third class up to first class, and then to third class petty officer. And I was only in about 2 years, and I was sent home on emergency leave. I got third class petty officer. And on the paper, it's due to get second class petty officer, which never materialized. All that would have been, instead of $30 a month, I would have got 35. I don't know what it was. We didn't have a lot of money. We were careful where we spent it on leave or liberty.
Now, how would you know what kind of mines are in the under the water? Would it be like typically one class of mine, or did it vary?
Someone might have got a hold of some information that said this is what they put in this area. Well, if they exploded one, chances are the others might be the same thing. But of course, the magnetic line didn't have a glass tip on it, but the contact and the other two did. So either one of those, if something hit it, it would explode. I always wondered if a shark or something like that came along and it hit one of those. No one could ever answer that.
I'm surprised the little glass thing didn't break when the waves hit
Yeah.
it.
We didn't know that they did. Anyway, we never saw one go off that.
Well, if it's that far underwater, maybe it's gone.
I don't know. Chances are some of them exploded on their own or due to a fish, animal, something.
How was the food?
I always thought the food was good. Of course, I was hungry. I ate anything. I like Mikey. Yeah.
Where would the mines normally be? Would they be like in the middle of the ocean, or where would they be?
You know, I always wondered that. We were told this is where the minefield is, that's where we want you to sweep. Well, it couldn't be too deep because they put anchors on them. And like I say, the mine floated under the surface of the water. It would want to be down about 15 feet because the waves would expose it otherwise. And I suppose they were in the shallower part of the water, probably 150, 200 foot deep, on up. But our ship drew, I think I mentioned, 15 feet of water while it was fully loaded. So, and I didn't talk about the waves. The waves out in the ocean were, seemed like to me, they were normally 5 foot, maybe 10 foot waves, up to 30 foot. And if you ever made a turn and got crossways in one of those waves, we had an inclinometer on our engine rooms. It would show how far the ship was tipping. I watched it hit 60 degrees several days in a row there one time. One of the strange things out in the ocean that has nothing to do with what I was there for, I guess, but we were steaming along going back to Sasebo to Japan to get some more heat information as to where to sweep. And the seas were rough. They were probably 15, 20 foot waves. We were bouncing around out there, and the ship, of course, would hit these waves and it would pull it up. Sometimes those small ships like ours, it would raise it up on 2 waves, fore and aft, and you could see light under the ship. Then when it came down, boom, and the ship would shake, and some of the ships were destroyed because of that. But anyway, as I was starting to say before I got interrupted myself, we were going along and about 10 or 15 foot waves, I suppose, and all of a sudden it stopped. And you wondered what was going to happen next. The sea was just as glassy as could be. You could even see little minnows and bugs on top of the water like you would out on a pond here at home. Never did explain that. Pretty soon we were back in waves again, and that was our normal thing. Oh yeah, we after the war was over, we left portholes open at night. And in these waves, you know what the sailfish are, the flying fish, I should say. They would come up on a wave and see that light over there, and they'd sail into the porthole, walk around on the deck. They were only maybe up to 10 inches long. They don't fly, of course, they sail. That was a treat for me.
Did you get to eat them?
No, never tried that. But we did eat fish, a lot of it. We would draw, on our time off, we'd get the fishing gear out, which each ship had. And Cookie always had the griddle hot to use on main deck. When we caught a fish, we'd fix it, we'd clean it and hand it to him, and we'd pick away at the fish the rest of the day. We had one guy catch a shark, and that was only about 4 to 5 feet long. Shark lay on the deck, and it was funny. You could walk around it and roll its eyes and watch it. And this one guy stepped too close, and that time fish snapped at his ankle. Oh, wow. Didn't touch him, but boy, it made us appreciate it. A lot of things like that happened that kept us entertained. It seemed like there was always something. A plane would go over and we'd have general quarters, and come to find out the plane was just flying through.
What's general quarters?
general quarters, everybody get to their gun stations, prepare for travel. First time I was called general quarters is out of Hawaii. I hadn't been assigned an engine room yet. And they assigned me to a 20mm gun. I'd never seen one of the things, let alone fire it. Like I say, I just shot a lot of holes through the air. I performed my duty, and that was all I had to do. All of the 3-inch gun or the 40mm would make a puffball up there, and you'd try to hit it, you know. So I never fired at a plane. I wanted to, but I didn't get to.
Did you ever have to work in the crow's nest?
No, I didn't work there, but I got a picture of, I suppose, a 30-foot wave washing over the ship. There's nothing showing above deck except the 3-inch gun barrel was sticking out of the water. Well, we popped right up again and floated just like a cork.
Wow, well, thank you. Thank you
Yeah.
again. We're unfortunately out of time already, but we all want to thank you for giving us your time. And thank you as well for your
I want
service.
you to know, this is my pleasure. I was asked to do this at home, and for some reason, I suppose I was going to a doctor or something, I had to pass it up. If I'd asked again, I would do it.
Yeah.
Now that you broke me in. Yeah, and I do want you to think about duty to country, I guess is the best way to put it. If you aren't patriotic of sorts, you know, you really don't have any business. This is the greatest country in the world. I've seen a lot of it. And I don't think we have it so bad. It's demonstrations and all I see, it makes me sick to think of it, but I don't want to see it. We didn't see it in World War II. They have since that time, of course. Korea wasn't so bad, but Vietnam, of course. And I don't know what the attitude was, why it turned out that way. I don't think, there was no one to greet us when we came home. We didn't think a thing about it. We were just tickled to death to come home. But they had their reasons, I guess.
Well, thank you again. Okay, you guys already submitted. Tell them thank you on the way out.